Thanks very much. Now, with the IMF boss Dominique Strauss-Kahn facing a series of charges, including attempted rape, the French Socialist Party could lose its main challenger to Nicolas Sarkozy in the country's next election. Well, journalist Nabila Ramdani is here with me in the studio. Nabila, thanks for coming in. I should just say the lawyers for Strauss-Kahn just released a statement. He will plead not guilty to all the charges against him. That was to be expected. Perhaps you can tell us a bit about Strauss-Kahn. I mean, he has a very reputable background, particularly in economics.
Oh, very much. Very much so. He has a brilliant mind for economics. He was a professor at Sciences Po, which is a prestigious school which trains the ruling elite in France. He's widely, very well regarded as a heavyweight politician, as a lawyer, as an economist. He, as a socialist, served under two socialist governments as industry minister in the early 1990s and in the late 1990s as finance minister. And he was very much the architect of France's economic recovery. And he, for example, managed to cut the deficit in France to qualify France for the euro.
And it was actually President Sarkozy that put him forward for this job at the IMF.
Absolutely. After he lost on the socialist nomination for the presidential election, surprisingly, President Sarkozy recommended him for the job at the IMF, and some commentators said that he was very much to keep him out of his way as a political rival, to keep him out of French politics.
Now, there are accusations in France, I know, that his tastes are too luxurious to lay claim to the political left. He does appear to live quite a lavish lifestyle.
He's very much labelled as a champagne socialist, la gauche caviar in France, as we say, because his lifestyle very much involves Porsche cars, luxurious homes in New York, Paris and Marrakesh, but also £5,000 suits from the same tailor as Barack Obama.
But I gather, actually, over some allegations, he's suing French newspapers as well, so he's standing up for himself on some of those. How will this story be viewed in France?
I think it will come as a huge embarrassment for France, for a start, but also it will come as a huge blow for French socialists who really saw Dominique Strauss-Kahn as their great hope to succeed President Sarkozy following next year's presidential elections.
And he's ahead in the polls in terms of, as they are at the moment.
He was very much a favourite for the presidential elections, but I think the French public, and indeed the French press, have become much more inquisitive about the lifestyle of their politicians and how they conduct themselves. And this story is really going to be very damaging, especially since it's not the first time since Dominique Strauss-Kahn has been associated with acts of sexual impropriety.
Nabila, I was going to mention that because you said that the French press has become, so when there has been previous rumours of his sexual exploits, those sorts of things, it hasn't damaged his career in the past.
No, interestingly, he's always managed to get himself out of court and not being basically prosecuted over that. And that includes a claim from a French journalist who accused him of, him trying to sleep with her, and he managed to get out of it.
In terms of the operation, obviously I mentioned he is going to plead not guilty to all of the charges that the Americans lay on him, but that this has happened on American soil, a dramatic arrest, taken off an aeroplane from his first-class cabin and all that. Is that of embarrassment to France and French politics?
Very much so. I mean, the Americans have really arrested him in a spectacular way to put the emphasis on the nature, the serious nature, the gravity of the allegations, and I think this will be hugely damaging, not only for him, his reputation, but also for the reputation of France.
Nabila, thanks for coming in. Good to talk to you again. Thank you.